Overseas now, and Russia and Ukraine are set to hold another round of peace talks as Vladimir Putin insists his operation is going to plan. Russia has reportedly attacked a theatre in the Ukrainian city of Mariupol where civilians were sheltering. The deputy mayor says more than 1,000 people may have been inside at the time.
The capital's skyline is very different now. Kyiv's 18th century St Andrew's Church, but with a backdrop of battle which is getting closer. The city's been put under strict curfew to try to limit the lives lost, but there's no protecting against attacks like these. A second missile strikes less than a minute later. The Ukrainian demands for a no-fly zone grow more ardent with every strike. And despite hints of progress on peace talks, the president's chief of staff told us there were red lines they would not cross. Would you be prepared to give up Donbass?
Look, I say and answer to your questions. We don't discuss our freedom, our independence, our territorial integrity, our sovereignty. All another issue we can sittings and discuss. And my presidents are ready to sitting in any days, in any place.
But you're not prepared to give up any territory?
Yes.
No territory?
Yes.
They're on the lookout for Russian saboteurs. We filmed the detention of these two suspects before the capital's curfew. The Ukrainians are worried that Russian agents have infiltrated the main city and are acting as guides for possible airstrikes, leaving tags or markers on potential targets, or just acting as informants on troop and military movements. These concerns have heightened over the past 24 hours as the Russian soldiers inch closer to Kyiv and the center of Ukrainian power. Amongst those at risk of being trapped in the capital are scores of surrogate babies. There are so many, the nursery is a constant hubbub of crying demands for attention. The babies are being cared for in a basement, which has been turned into an underground shelter by a very small team of babysitters. These women have left their families to look after these little ones after the babies' actual parents couldn't reach them because of all the fighting. You have to understand this is war, this babysitter says. Not everyone is able to come. The airports are all closed, so their parents just can't pick them up. We love all the babies, another says. As she explains, they become part of our hearts, our family. And when the parents do take them away, we cry, she tells us. But with heavy fighting around the capital, it's meant the women looking after the babies here are also all that stands between them and the bombings. There are so many acts of defiance being played out on these streets. One soldier and his flute and the national anthem. We won't be ruled by others, it goes. In so many ways, he speaks for his country. Alex Crawford, Sky News, Kyiv.